Hey everybody, my name is Akinola, Verissimo. Today we're going to talk about Riot Games. We're going to talk about My Hero Academia. There is an original show thing that I want to show to you guys, but the big thing is Riot Games' new lineup. They released like 5 new games that they're working on. I'm excited for all of them. And they gave a little bit of info on every game except for one. So for all those who didn't watch League 10 last week, they announced a fighting game. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to be called League of Fighters or something else, but they bought Rising Thunder a couple years ago, which turned out to be a very popular free-to-play game. They bought that, shelved it away for 2-3 years. We didn't think anything was going to come of it. And then all of a sudden you see this crazy I don't know what to talk about. They announced a card game. They announced some top-down dungeon crawler style thing. It might be similar to Diablo. They announced a new animated series. They also announced a port of League of Legends, but coming to console and coming to mobile. So it's like League from the ground up. It's going to play pretty similarly. The beta's not out yet, but I have signed up on Android. I pre-registered so that when the game actually comes out, I'm going to be ready to look at it. So, in any case, no. All right, so Mets, we are not going to actually watch an episode or talk about, because I haven't watched a new episode. We're not here to spoil it, but there is an original show that I want everybody to watch, and it's just so good. It's really good. So, we're going to get started. This is the first episode of the Team Attack show. And I can't believe we're going to do this. I've been working on this for a while, and it's going to happen. I can't wait. Anyway, so we're going to start with Riot Games, and then we'll finish off with My Hero Academia. We'll see how it goes. My name is Akinola Verissimo. This is the first episode of the Team Attack Show for October 19th, 2019. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's time to get started. So, Riot Games. It's we didn't think that we'd get anything other than League for a bit, and then they released this video. And for anybody who didn't see, I feel like we should just rewatch this to get the whole scope of this. So obviously the map is getting redone. Big changes for the next season of League of Legends, but that's not it. New sets of TFT. They're also increasing the board size, stuff like that. But here comes the new shit. Why does Ezreal look like this? What the hell is this? That was just the tip of the iceberg, you guys. The tip of the iceberg. I'm still kind of wrapping my head over what was shown. Very little footage from the 3 new projects, A, L, and F, which spell out ALF. I don't know internally why they did that, but it's a great way to remember how each of those go. Project A being the shooter game, Project L being the fighting game, and Project F being that top-down thing with Blitzcrank that you were looking at. For anybody who didn't see, I'm just going to go back. So we just got 5 seconds of this game. We've got Ezreal jumping in, and Blitzcrank, and some other dude who looks like... Is that Lux? I don't know who that is. And then we've got a fucking fighting game. Ari with the Iori tech, just knocking up Darius there, and Darius is like, "No, sit down." I already know that I'm gonna main Darius when he comes out. Oh, holy crap! I'm very excited to do stuff. All right, so let's talk about Project A first. Project A is this Overwatch looking thing, okay? It's supposed to be a meld of Overwatch, CSGO. You know, they've got the quick kills, they've got the scope kills. There are abilities. I don't know if they're going to be classes or anything like that, but it's supposed to be their foray into the competitive shooter market, and it looks good. You know, I'm not good at first-person shooters. I played Overwatch. I thought it was really cool, but ultimately I found out that Overwatch wasn't the game for me long-term. I just didn't have the time to commit into it to, you know, play anything other than tanks. You know, I'm a Reinhardt main. I like holding right-click. I like walking around swinging things. He's not a very technically sound character. Like, doesn't require a lot of skill to play, so it's like perfect for a noob like me. But I do enjoy watching Overwatch and watching other people play. But the fact that Riot Games is coming out with all of this new tech they've been working on, and I don't know whether they could have announced it before this league anniversary, but this is the perfect thing to just dump their entire load and say, hey guys, we're not just a Mimi one-game studio. We're working on 5 new games. And they're all probably going to be received really well and have a long life cycle. Because it's hard to imagine a game like League of Legends being around for as long as it has been. But before you know it, it's literally been 10 years. I can't believe it. I haven't been playing League for 10 years. I think I've been playing my League for since 2013, I think I signed up. And the fact that it's been around this long really proves its staying power. So I don't think the game is going to go anywhere. The game changes and patches often enough that even if you don't play for a whole year, you're going to come back to somewhat of a fresh game experience. Obviously, your mileage may vary, but I feel like we're at the point where the game is so big and there's only so much you can do with it, even if you iterate. Like, people want new game experiences. Like, I'll be honest, I don't play League as much anymore. A lot of my time is spent playing Teamfight Tactics. But the reason I got into Teamfight Tactics or into auto battlers at all was because of my strong connection with League of Legends IP. The universe is awesome. The characters are memorable. And whether I had a good time or bad time with League of Legends, those experiences stuck with me. And I like the game enough that I still follow esports. I still follow people in the scene. I still watch content surrounding League of Legends. So if they put that world stuff into anything else, any other genre, the millions and millions of people who are attached to the game are going to at least check it out. Like, it's free advertising, whether it's a board game, a puzzle game, a card game, a fighting game. And I think, let's talk about the fighting game really quick. That's like going on the screen right now. You saw that very quick. Sorry, there's a dog outside. You saw this very quick gameplay. You know, they're animating the game right now. You've got this training looking stage. You got Katarina, Jinx, Ahri, and this is really big for the FGC for a couple of reasons. The FGC obviously is the bastard child of esports. It is the lowest paid out section of esports. For a multitude of reasons. The personalities, the skill gap to like compete and get in, the reputation. Like Super Smash Brothers, as grassroots as that is, you've got people who are really good at the game who are playing for like bus money at this point. Like, why would anyone jump into Super Smash Brothers to be, or any other fighting game, honestly? This fighting game is hopefully going to bring, one, some normalcy and some legitimacy to the FGC. Not saying it's not legitimate, but they have a lot of negatives going against it, including, you know, and I mean, that's not just an FGC, but an esports, treatment of women, access to the scene, how they treat other people, all that stuff. Having this game come out whenever it does come out, and I don't know if it's going to be ready before next year's EVO or anything like that. You know, Tony Kennan is involved. GGPO, this is one of the big guys, the big wigs of EVO, the Cannon brothers. This has potential. It's going to expose, one, the League audience to fighting games, which can be a net positive in terms of exposing all these new people to this scene that has been around and stood the test of time for many, many years. And if people are going to jump in, maybe they'll be compelled to play other games. Maybe they'll play Skullgirls. Maybe they'll play Marvel. Maybe they'll play Street Fighter. I mean, we have no idea how the game is going to play. Maybe the game will be complete garbage, but I think it's safe to say that the quality bar of games from Riot Games, I think it's stupid to assume that the game is going to not be good. So we'll just have to see when it comes out. I have a lot of hope for these games. I like fighting games a lot. I've got the stick. Like, when I saw that game, I ran back to the corner over there and I was like, where the hell is my stick? I have to dust it off. I have to get ready for this game that's eventually going to come out and see how things are going to go. This Project A that they're talking about right now, this is their tactical shooter. This is supposed to be their answer to Overwatch, and honestly, with the grip that Riot Games has over the gaming market, like, look at this. Obviously, this is alpha footage, but you've got this quick reaction time that is not seen in Overwatch, but is more reminiscent of, like, Counter-Strike. So this is going to appeal to people in Counter-Strike. This is also going to appeal to people in Overwatch with the ability stuff. Look at that. I don't know what that ability does. It obviously obscures vision. It's like a big old dust grenade or smoke grenade or something like that. And it's going to meld those two communities together and give them an excuse to play something new. Like, Counter-Strike has been around forever. People are tired of Overwatch. People are mad at Blizzard. So Riot Games, maybe they found the right timing to say, all right, everyone's shitting on Blizzard right now. Let us unveil this game we've been working on for literally 4 years. Morello, Ryan Scott, used to be a champion, used to be a champion designer way back in the early stages of League. And then he changed his Twitter to say that, I'm going to be working on an R&D project. He was the lead on some R&D project. No one knew what it was. People were expecting some sort of MMO or something that was obviously not related to League. And then, when this came out, he was able to say, I'm finally able to say that I've been working on this and I've been a lead designer for this. And, to hold that in for 4 years or more, to not talk about this, that must have been grueling. And I know when this game comes out, I think it's really going to shake up the FPS market. Is it going to kick off or eliminate CSGO or Overwatch from the market? No. Those are established esports, for better or for worse. This is going to really draw in the people who are just tired, who are just... Look, there's a buying system in there too. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me rewind that really quick. There's a buying system, obviously reminiscent of CSGO. So there's going to be tactical rounds. So let me just pause this. You might not be able to see it if you're watching on a cell phone, but this guy right here, on the left, there's a leaderboard screen, red versus blue. On the right here, he is buying weapons with money. That doesn't scream, I'm trying to capture the CSGO market, which is when they have tournaments, the community is just something else. There are hundreds of thousands of people watching these tournaments. And they don't really have a true competitor. I mean, all right, they've got Rainbow Six Siege, but that's not really deathmatch type play. It's like super tactical. You're hiding a lot. This one seems a lot more aggressive. So they're probably thinking to themselves, now's the time to strike. Let's capitalize on this market that no one is really doing a good job owning, except for the leaders in the market. And let's see what happens. And I don't know what this game is going to be called, but whatever it is, I think it's going to be game-changing. It's going to, I think, force Valve to try and make some changes to stay in the game. I don't think viewership is going to go down, but the fact that Riot can make games turn to gold, and if they can make another League of Legends, I think that's their target, then they'll succeed. So I'm looking forward to it, even though I probably don't see myself playing it. But look, they've got peeking, all right? Look at how quick that was. If that doesn't shout like the trigger finger in you for your first person shooter kink, then I don't know what is, okay, guys? So yeah, this is something else. Hello to everybody who's going to the stream. Sorry, I'm just like so excited to talk about this, and I wanted to talk about it last week. I just wasn't able to. So you've got the quick gameplay, the headshot potential, the outplay potential. There's just so much that can be done. They said they're not ready to talk about any more specifics than what they just showed there. Just that The game is being worked on, and yeah. Moving on to this next project, Legends of Runeterra. Legends of Runeterra is Riot Games' new card game. It's a little mix of Hearthstone, it's a little mix of Artifact, it's a little mix of Magic the Gathering, all rolled into the League of Legends universe. And I think the best thing about this game is not necessarily that, oh, it's another digital card game that I can play. It's another opportunity for League of Legends fans to explore one of the most requested things about League of Legends, an expansion of the lore. Now, for better or for worse, how you feel about League's lore is that could be for obviously another discussion. But this is the first opportunity, I think, that outside of independent writing for League of Legends, short stories and stuff like that, we're going to see characters and entities of the different regions and aspects of Runeterra. Different characters, locations, art, maybe quotes that we wouldn't expect champions and other people from Zaun or Piltover or Shurima to talk about being expressed in this game. And one of the things that Hearthstone was praised for on its release was the personality that it had. Like, it knew it was a card game, but they decided to make sure every card had some sort of VO. It had spell effects. It was easy, accessible to get into. And, it was a hit. No one expected Hearthstone to do as well as it did, and it kind of remains the top in the terms of digital card games. But Riot Games rears its head and is like, hey guys, heard you hate Blizzard, and we're looking for a new card game to get you into. How about Legends of Runeterra? And so that's what we got going on. So we've got these designers who are talking about their love for card games and showing the potential of League's lore in card form. Some of the main things about the game, there's an attack and defense phase. Like, there's obviously taking turns and stuff, but you're going to be able to basically feel like when you're playing a champion card, it feels like you're playing a champion. Like, Teemo infects your deck with mushrooms. I guess I have to watch this commercial now. Fiora uses her ultimate to chip away the four corners of your champion model to do massive damage to you and just own everything. Garen and Darius, they're big hulking men from Noxus and Demacia, and it feels like you get to live out your favorite character's strengths when you play their card. And I feel like they've captured that really, really well in this game. Now, if you didn't get access to the beta, it's only available until tomorrow as of the recording of this video, but it's going to come back out in another month, and it'll be there for 5 days. So look, champions level up. Like, look how cool that is. The spell effects alone, it's like, I have to watch this. It's going to be great for spectators. And one thing that they've instituted on the Magic the Gathering side, abilities to respond to. So if I go back and rewind here, you'll be able to see the middle of this board here. People can place spells here to target enemies to do damage or destroy a unit or reduce its defense or to buff it. And then you can respond to those directly. So every action that a player does, your opponent is able to respond to it. And it opens up a whole new level of interactivity. Hearthstone, when your turn is happening, you just have to sit there and take it. If you're behind, you're behind. And you're probably going to lose if you're already down at 1 health. This game, you're able to somebody plays something, the game isn't necessarily over yet. As long as you've got mana to play, you can declare blockers, you can stave off stave off a heavy attack and try and make the game your own when it comes to be your turn again. And after playing it for a couple of days, I really feel like they did a good job of making players feel like they're in control, even if they are on the back foot. The game is not perfect, obviously. There's some UI stuff that I want them to change, and some aspects of the whole game board aren't as clear as I would like it. But the game is very easy to get into, and it's very satisfying to put creatures into play and to destroy the enemy nexus and claim victory. It's like you're playing League of Legends, but it's on the go. So this game is going to be on PC. It's going to be on mobile. It's Legends of Runeterra. You can, if you have a Riot account, you can go onto the website, try and get access. You probably won't get it today, but if you have access to this beta, you'll have access to the next 2 betas that they're doing, and I'm pretty sure the game is going to come out in early 2020. And for anybody who's been looking for a new card game to play, I think this will really be up your alley. So that looks really cool. I'm excited to see what's going on there. Sadly, the only game that they didn't really give more insight into was Project F. And that was that Diablo-looking top-down game that they were showing earlier. We have no idea what's going on. That game is super, super early in alpha. They just didn't want to talk about it for some reason. And I can understand that. It's whatever. But it just gets me excited. Look at the board. It looks like you're playing on Summoner's Rift. The nice grassy area. There are poros that you can customize, and they'll play around the field and look all cute and shit. You don't have to invest a lot of money into the game. You can be completely free to play and have a competitive deck. Like, their monetization strategy seems very accessible. It's not pay to win like Hearthstone is. Like, if you don't have certain cards in Hearthstone with the meta, you're just not gonna be dominating. There's just a lot to explore, and for people who have invested money, obviously you're not gonna be able to keep those cards, but they will reimburse your tokens when the full game comes out. So feel free to go crazy. Play the game if you have it. I'd love to know what you guys think if you have played it. My one pet peeve, though, is that you can't challenge friends, at least not yet. I really hope that they add that to future betas, because sometimes you just want to sit around. You want to practice. You want to just relax and try out new strategies. Because you can practice versus the AI, but having it be versus a friend, I think, is going to be the way to go. So I really hope that they open that up for the future. League of Legends is also developing an animated series. I wouldn't quite say it's anime, because it's like a combination of hand drawn and I don't know how to describe it. I'm trying to it's called Arcane. I think I skipped it, but I'm excited about that. I'm looking for a reason to, I'm just excited because of the lore aspect. They've had so many opportunities with the main game to try and connect things together better, to introduce new champions, to introduce new regions. And recently they've been hitting the mark, but in the beginning, it's like the lore didn't matter. Like, remember League of Legends, they had summoners. Like, you were the summoner, and you had people go to Summoner's Rift and do battle for you. And then they were just like, let's nix that, let's retcon all of that. And that was the story for like 4 or 5 years. So for a company to be like, nah, screw all that, we're just leaving that behind, we're starting over, that hurts. You really invest into a story and they change it up on you. It's not the greatest feeling, but I feel like they've been on a better path in terms of expressing what the world of Runeterra is about. And I think with these games, it's going to be easier for them to introduce new aspects without having to retcon any more stuff. Without also disturbing the balance of League of Legends. Because, there are champions that are in factions, they're supposed to get along with each other, and then people trying to force together love interests and stuff like that, and OTPs, and just let the writers do their thing. Don't force couples and ships and stuff like that. That's not what this is about. So I'm really excited as somebody who used to make content for League of Legends. The fact that all of these games are coming out means a few things. One, we're going to see a rise in content creation. Assuming all these games come out in early 2020, just the fact that we're able to talk about these games is going to just get me so excited. There'll be old content creators coming back. There'll be a new wave of content creators, and there'll also be a new opportunity for broadcast talent. So if you have wanted to get into a game, whether it's casting, whether it's hosting, whether it's doing analyst work, whether it's being behind the scenes, League of Legends is kind of established. Unless one of the main talent quits or something happens to them, you're probably not going to replace anybody on the analyst desk unless you're like a former player or something like that. Those opportunities have all dried up, and that's all good and well. Job security is good, but for these new games, obviously, those people are going to have to choose between being in the LCS or being a part of these new games. And there's going to be a search for talent. There's going to be a need for people who know the ins and outs of the game, who know how to interact with the crowd, who know the best way to present it to an audience. And so if you've been thinking about getting in front of the camera for these 5 games that are coming out, you have the opportunity. So if these games come in beta, get in there, play, learn everything there is to know, make content. It doesn't matter how many views it gets. Whenever you make content like this, how you're watching right now, you're making a portfolio for yourself. You are making a repository to show to people that you know what you're talking about. You've been invested in the scene since the beginning, and you are potentially one of the best picks for this upcoming game. You have a chance to cement yourself in society, especially if the game gets really, really big. So for anybody thinking that their ship sailed with League of Legends or another game, the door is about to reopen to you. Like, I never thought that I would find myself even talking about this. I thought League of Legends was just going to be League of Legends for the next 5-10 years. Like, can you imagine a game being 20 years old, like League of Legends, and people still actively playing it? I mean, obviously this is going to be a thing. I don't see them shutting down League of Legends anytime soon. But these new games, like, people are going to pay attention. People are going to be looking for these pioneers. And damn it, I'm going to be one of them. So I want to get in front of this thing. I want to hit the ground running. And the first game is obviously Legends of Runeterra. So, after the stream is done, I'm going to play because the beta ends tomorrow for the next month. And I just want to play, learn about all the mechanics, learn about all the abilities. I don't think I'm going to make any high-level content or anything, but I'll be recording games. I'll be looking over to try and see little nuances and things like that so that I can talk about them. I can open up a discussion because people like hearing people talk about how they feel about upcoming things. And that is the beauty of content creation. So maybe you'll see me become a lead content creator again. Maybe I guess I'll be a Riot Games content creator. I don't see myself making stuff about League of Legends anymore. I think that part of my life is over. And I got a lot of great opportunities because of it. I got to meet a lot of amazing people and do things that I never thought that I would do in my life. And, it's opened the path for me to hopefully do this again and not feel so much stress because, when I was making TLDR patch notes, I would make these with a very quick turnaround. I would do it in like a weekend. Writing jokes is things that come, you think it might come easy, but I was doing all the writing, I was doing all the editing, even getting the notes ahead of time. It was a struggle, and it became something that it became arduous. It became troublesome. It became unfun to make content. And I feel like a lot of content creators get to that point where it's just like, all right, the thing that I'm doing is making me money, but all of a sudden you can't enjoy it anymore because it's work. Like, normally you're able to just sit back and relax and just kind of let your mind wander. But now, in this day and age, if you're making content around it, every interaction with this game that's supposed to bring you joy, you're now thinking to yourself, how can I turn this into content? Like, how can I make a video out of this? How can I make money out of this? And it just sucks the life out of all the things that you used to like to do, and it's just, it sucks. So if there's a game that you like, if you want to start making content around a game like this, get the beta, watch videos, offer insight, especially if you come from another card game like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone. Illustrate differences and similarities. Try and understand where the potential in this game might be going. Even if you aren't able to record content, if you got that mindset, I feel like you can do anything. So don't let that stop you if you don't have the beta. So that's how I feel. It's a good time to be a Riot Games fan, to be a gaming fan. Like, gaming is great. I don't know what to say, y'all. But it's very exciting. 2020 is going to be a big year for everybody, hopefully myself included. And you'll just have to stay around to see what happens. So Hopefully you guys feel the same way. Maybe you guys don't give a darn. I don't know. But that's going to be it for the Riot Games discussion. We're going to go into another segue here. We're going to talk about My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is probably the shonen anime of the past 3 years. Dragon Ball makes a resurgence every few years because it's Dragon Ball. It's like baby's first anime. I don't think Super's that great. I haven't gotten to the tournaments arc yet, but it's whatever. But My Hero, it's a typical shonen formula, but the characters are memorable, the scenes are great, the animation's good, it's funny. There's a lot of memorable things about it, and I think that's what makes it stand out from other anime. Now, don't worry. I'm not going to spoil last week's episode or even talk about this week's episode, because I haven't watched it yet. But if you guys remember, the last time that I streamed, we watched some My Hero Academia live action. It's called UALA. If the Hero Academy, UA, was based in America, with humans, real life people with quirks. We saw a couple teasers. They were like 2 minutes long each, and they have released a whole first episode. The person who does this cinematography, oh my God, you guys are not ready for this. We're going to watch the opening episode. It is 15 minutes long, so if you want to get yourself a drink, get yourself some popcorn, now's the time to do this, because we're going to watch. So we're going to watch the beginning 2 scenes, and the rest of it I haven't seen. But the people who are involved in this are some of the most dedicated fans of the show. And this person who shot this, Christopher Cohen, he's been involved in Star Wars, Kingsman. So this guy is a professional videographer. This guy makes real life look like anime. Like, you know how anime, they've got the circular shots and the camera's panning left and right really quick? This guy, this dude right here, I'm just going to stop talking. So I hope you guys are ready for this. I think this is going to be good. We're going to switch, and we're going to watch. So here it is. UALA Episode 0 is a My Hero spinoff, and we are going to watch. Sit back. Enjoy.
Hidden my strength aside, my grief and sorrow. Keeping the light on in the dark place was in pain. Been trying to be the best, it's been a war within. Losing, but I felt like I was born to win. I was born to win, I was born to be great. The sun may never shine upon a hero. Can't tell friend or foe. Living life, trying to find the edges in a dark place. It's a fight, who will save LA? It's a fight, who will save the day? Move fast as you can, just another win. Get a story or two, can't escape your fate. You were born to save the day. You were born to save the day.
My hero,
Also, this rendition of You Say Run is so good. You got this whole fucking anime dude. Holy shit.
You don't know what you're doing. I'm giving this back.
Unlikely.
Steal the wallet, unnoticed.
That's all I asked.
Is the coast clear?
Yeah. Kill him.
Happy day. A teleporter? Oh, that sucks. For you.
スナップバック個性バーストジョイント関節の動きを利用し超人的なスピードを出すことができるこれが ULA の実力だ面白いじゃん兵器個性カシェ手に持った武器を火器以外の武器に変えることができる
Our hero's in trouble.
Somebody help! Help!
Nobody's coming. They can't see you. Yeah. I know the feeling.
ベイル個性コンシール自ら作り出す泡の中に入れば外からは見ることも聞くこともできない隔離された異次元に引き込まれる
What will happen to our heroes?
Hey. それじゃあ終わりにしようか
Let's go. I still owe you a cheap shot.
スタックス個性マルチプライヤー打撃を与えるごとに力が増し5発目でリセットされるまた5発目にパワーを集中させ強力な一撃を繰り出すことができる
Now.
一番のヒーローかこんなバカが慕われるとはな奴は助けになんか来ないぞこの国にすらいないんだからな人にデタラメな希望を与えるそれがお前たちヒーローのやっていることなんだろそれが平和の象徴だと笑わせるな
Hey, ignore whatever the hell he's saying. The only way we survive this is if we take out Tank Top over there. If I can just get one clean shot, I can do it. Just need an opening. Got any ideas, wannabe?
Anime flashback.
Listen, I know a new school can be scary, but everything's gonna be fine. Do you want to know why? Because he's here.
Anime moms are the source of power for every protagonist. No, what happened to Mom? No! No, she died. She dead.
ヒーロー、バックトラック、個性、ピンポイント。バックトラックは彼のキーホルダーがついている対象の位置へテレポートすることができる。目標物が大きいほど力を要さず、さらに他の人とも一緒にテレポートすることができる。
You don't seem to understand, so I'll try this in your language. オールマイトがいなくても平気さ。みんなに力をくれるのもヒーローなんだ。これがそういうことだ。
Oh shit! Whoa! Let's go. He stepped on that dude's entire chest.
Not today. We're leaving.
Of course, they had.
Besides, we got what we came for, right?
Oh, he jacked his wallet. Didn't even see it.
What's your name? Whatever it is. Get to school. Study hard, graduate. Reach your goal of becoming a pro hero. Because that's when I'm gonna take it all from you. Till then, you got time.
That isn't an evil antagonist. I don't know what that is. This dude's power is next level.
What did they want with this?
They didn't say. Offer me good money still, though. Worth it.
No amount of money is worth risking your life.
It pays for my little girl's treatment, it is. So you gonna call the cops?
No. I'd be in trouble too.
What do you mean?
I don't technically have my license yet.
Oh, a little bit of the pot calling the kettle black, huh?
We are not alike.
Yeah, okay.
You return this, and we're even.
Deal.
You know, they have young adult classes for heroes. You should think about doing that. For your daughter.
Be a hero.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Don't be a bad guy.
Hey, wannabe. Thanks.
That's so good. Holy shit. Can't wait for, I can't wait for, the next episode. His name is Backtrack. That's so weeby. Alright, that was pretty cool. So, that just kind of goes to show you why My Hero is so good. Like, it's got 1 million views. I don't know how many more episodes they're going to do of something like this, but it just, that gets me excited. So, if you're obviously not watching My Hero Academia Season 2, it's on every Saturday. If you have Crunchyroll Premium or Verve Premium, you can watch it when it releases in Japan at like 3 in the morning Eastern. So, a part of me wants to let it kind of build up so I can watch like 4 or 5 episodes at a time. But I want to watch it every week so I could talk about it. The first episode is kind of slow. I imagine the second episode is going to be slow too, but they're kind of establishing what the villains are going to do for this season. So we will see what happens. Waited, a year for this? So I'm very excited to see what develops from that. But I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you everybody for watching and coming back. And I know I keep saying this, but we're going to do this more regularly. This is kind of an impromptu stream. I just wanted to get on and show you guys this because it came out a couple of days ago. I don't have a teleprompter or anything. I just like interacting with all of you. So thank you very much for stopping by and taking some time out of your day. The next time this goes on next week, we're going to have topics of discussion. Maybe even have a co-host on here and go back and forth because, getting by yourself, it's a little lonely. I mean, I don't want to do it by myself all the time, but it'd be nice to have a buddy to go back and forth and bounce off one another. So I'm actually going to talk to that person tonight and see what's going on. So next week, hopefully we'll have a host show going and it'll be good. So yeah, to everybody who watched, thank you very much. The stream is going to end now. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. I keep saying that. I'm just going to shut up and close the show. Everybody have a good night. Bye.